Today's video is about how you as an IT freelancer, as an IT developer, as an IT consultant, or even IT business can transition away from the time for money chain, as everybody is actually emphasizing it, from your individual development or consulting service to standardized service offering. But most importantly, it's about how to get away from the time for money to a more scalable way, even if you're a freelancer, a solopreneur, or even further down the road in IT business. I'm Patrick McGibney. I'm CEO and founder of McGibney Mentoring and Coaching. And I've founded, well, basically, let's start a little earlier. I started working as an IT consultant when I was a student being employed and quickly transitioned to become a freelancer because I saw there's a lot of opportunity. And as a freelancer back then, I started in SAP BI, later banking, later also Microsoft Dynamics and Power BI. It was pretty simple. I struggled at the beginning getting projects, getting direct clients, and not just being dependent of your network and of partners, as we all know it, right? There's no secrets here. But I invested a lot of time, found back then a lot of people that could really help me, some mentors, and that enabled me to create some methods, implement some methods that were pretty easy and implementable to attract your own clients. And based on that, after 2-3 years of a freelancer, actually I had lots of clients, 3-4 projects doing simultaneously. Founded my first company, which was an SAP business. Later on, founded a Microsoft company, which was specified in Dynamics and Power BI, and over the years scaled them and eventually exited them. But that's not the topic today. Today is how do we get out of the time for money vicious circle, as I want to say, and how to transition from an individual consultant, a freelancer, to a more standardized service offering, something that's scalable, managed service, or even SaaS. As I told you, I've been there myself, started 15 years ago, and looking back at my journey, there's a lot of learnings that I took away and that I want to give you today that might help you make the transition. But first, let's elaborate what is the exact problem. The problem is, and I'm not only talking now about that you get your projects from your network, from partners and all that jazz. The problem is if everything is run by time for money, you do your consulting, your development, doesn't matter if it's SAP, if it's Microsoft, if it's Salesforce, if it's DevOps, it really doesn't matter. Every new client will require 100% of your focus since it's individual. It's individual development, it's individual consulting. Every time you basically start at point zero. And just from human sense, if every client requires 100% of your focus, it's hard to scale, hard to plan on that. If you have a team, not only if you're a freelancer, your employees need to put a lot of effort into onboarding repetitively. So the same goes if you're a solopreneur or a freelancer. Every new client you need to onboard, it takes 100% of your focus. If you then scale over getting more projects, the project profit is eventually deteriorating over time. Because if you get more projects, if you get more clients, every time you need to basically reinvent the wheel, the profit will deteriorate because you need to invest more and more of your time, and your time is limited. So, and then another factor that comes into place, project hopping, that means contact switches. You will be less efficient and the quality in the delivery in your actual work will deteriorate, will get worse. So what happened to me, by the way. So if you need to chase new clients, new projects, and that requires always 100% of your effort, every new order, every new project will stack on each other. And the workload for yourself as a freelancer or for your team is increasing. Again, high workload, high stress means less quality, and at the end, unsatisfied clients because the projects are deteriorating, the delivery. So basically, you can always see a peak. After the peak, you hit your client peak. You as a solopreneur or a freelancer or your team has less and less client work again. So you need to chase again new orders. So this circle or this pivot is happening again. It's very easy to draw this. If I take you here to this little whiteboard, it's easy to actually draw this down just to illustrate. So if we say we have here orders, it's a little bit drawing, please excuse my writing. If we have the time here. So, and as I said, you get your first client, awesome. You get your second client, awesome. You get your next client, awesome. And so on. So new orders, or you can also say new clients or projects, it's stacking up, stacking up. And then you hit your peak. Here's basically your peak. Here you put so much effort to go from here to here to here. Now what happens is exactly what I'm saying. Here is a problem. You have not so much time, your teammate might not have so much time if you're a business. So your quality is going down, which is not good. It's deteriorating at this peak. That's what I'm talking about. So now you hit your peak and you're slacking off. And then this cycle needs to happen again. So that's not healthy because here you put always 100% of your focus, 100% of your efforts. Then you hit your peak. It's at this point doesn't look good anymore. Now you're slacking down. Everything is going back a little bit to normal. Projects are going down, quality are going down. Maybe you have clients that are unsatisfied. And then at this point, you need to start this process over and over again. And again, you have 100% of your focus. And it starts again. So this is happening again. And we don't want that. We want to have, let's say, a more stable line. Something that we can plan. Maybe something like this, if you draw it. That would be much more healthy. It doesn't need to go up like this, but it also should go like this. And that's what we are going to talk about, how we can do that. And there's not much magic. Another problem that will occur here or in this development, if you have employees, they will want more salary. So the rate that you want to get for your projects, you want to get increasements, because the more clients you have, the higher your team is growing, and the more your team is growing, the more employees they will demand more salary. If they want more salary, you need to increase your rates. But your rate increasements are limited. So at that point that we've just shown, we reach that point, employees might be too expensive, and the project profit is going down. Not enough revenue anymore. That is usually a common problem when you see small teams or businesses maybe scale in the wrong way. Because then actually the growing team will cost you profit from your business. That's why you see businesses that cross the 10 to 20 men or team size limit are actually decreasing in profit. Something like a disease for consultancies or agencies that's happening on the market. Project profitability is decreasing. And one of the big problems here, why this is happening, no one is doing sales. There is no one that's really doing sales. There is no lead generation. There is no marketing. And you, as the owner or the solopreneur or the freelancer, it doesn't matter at this point, you need to take care of this continuous problem. You always go through this cycle if you don't change something. But there is a solution on how to solve this problem. Yeah, that's what we are talking about. So, and I think I'm gonna draw here another small graphic. How to transition from this everything is individual, development, consulting, everything is so dependent on myself, doesn't matter if you're a freelancer, solopreneur, or your business, to a standardized way of having your service offered, to a managed service, or even SaaS down the road. Yeah, I mean, actually, SaaS is a great example. Yeah, you test the software, it's working. Got a trial phase. Trial phase is over. Payment is needed. Yeah, no effort for the vendor, no effort for the customer. Everything is picture clear how the process is structured and how to get the software. And you can have a similar way if you want to go from an individual approach, everything by the hour, everything is super unique, to more a standardized way. Now, let's draw that picture a little bit here. So again, I'm going to draw here a graph. Let's do that here. I'm using the space correctly. And we want to have something like this, yeah, something that is, let's say, a realistic development, and not like then like we saw before, like a dancing graph or something like that. And it all starts, yeah. And by the way, there's going to be, let's say, 4 steps, yeah. You can draw them down here. Maybe step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You cannot jump like this. You cannot jump from 0 or 1 to 4. You need to go through those stages. Nothing that I invented. Yeah, I'm not going to take the credit. It's a simple business know-how. If you have founded your own businesses, you need to go through those stages. So it's nothing I invented. I'm just sharing my experience because I had struggles going from these stages to stages. So here, number 1 is where basically you will be. I assume you have an individual development, yeah, or consulting. So everything is time for money. Yeah? Let's call it like this, time for money. Yeah? This is where we are. So you charge your 100, 150, 200, 250 euros per hour, wherever you are, as an SAP consulting, a Microsoft consultant, or whatsoever. Yeah? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all, to be honest. That's where we are. Yeah? So everything, all the clients you get, again, it starts, everything is dependent by time. We talked about that already. So now you want to get to the second stage. What is the second stage? Basic business tools, if you want to have. Yeah? I will call it basic business setup. Let's call it like this. What is a basic business setup? And by the way, this goes to freelancers, solopreneur, and businesses the same. It's the same process. Maybe different scale. It doesn't matter. Yeah? Here, I'm talking about your niche and positioning. I'm talking about this point so often. If you say you're a Microsoft consultant in D365, it's not a niche and positioning. It's simply not. It's a technology focus. Yeah? I'm talking about the understanding and definition of your target audience and to have an ideal customer profile. Super important. Ideal customer profile or client avatar. You need to know who your target audience is. This is basic setup. If you don't know who you want to sell your services or your product, well, good luck doing it. The third thing here in the second step is a USP. Something that differentiates you from others on the market. That will lead to the third step as well, but we'll get to that. And here, before we come to the third step, which is one of the most important steps, here we also contain small things like a lean marketing. I'm going to say marketing here. A little bit lead generation. Yeah, it's necessary. So we're approaching sales here, by the way. Business setup. Maybe also a delivery process. Yeah? Because the third step is very important. It's your offering. Your standardized service offering. That contains everything: your delivery, your support, your contract, basically your obligations and conditions. Yeah, it's representing what you're offering. Super, super important. How to do that is a complete different topic. Yeah, it can also contain, I'm going to draw that here, acceptance criteria. Yeah, it can be definition of done. It can have payment terms, a standard delivery process, a standard product, a standardized service offering. Now, and this is super important if we are here, and don't worry, I'm not going to sell this picture that I'm drawing right here as a piece of art. It should simply illustrate what we're talking about. Here, the delivery is a concept for the client's end result. This is so important. This leads to solving a problem for the client. Yeah, it means delivering an end result and not something that is measured purely by the hours. For example, it can be a workshop, a pre-analysis, an audit, a POC, an MVP, a rapid deployment. There's so many examples. You will use templates and frameworks that standardize your delivery, your service offering. Individual development or consulting remains, but you need to attract new clients that match your new service offering. And the point here is that not every new client, needs to have 100% of your attention. That's the problem that we discussed before. And if you standardize them, that means maybe down the road, a new client will only require 30%, maybe at the beginning 50, 60%, but it will go down by time because you do it over and over again. You will get better, you get more efficient, and you will deliver better results. Because if you do something repetitively, there's only one end result. Yeah? And that's how you can break the time for money change if you concentrate on making this transition to a standardized service offering. The end goal, the God mode, so to say, is the fourth step that you can then jump. This can be a managed service. This can also be, as we already said, a standardized service offering. I'll call it SSO, or even a SaaS, as we said. A managed service, we know that, is an outsourced kind of IT service that provided the managed service provider, the MSP, which takes the responsibility for a client managing and maintaining the IT resources for a customer, obviously. We know what that means. A standardized or productized service offering, obviously, refers to a predefined, a consistent service package that is readily available for the client, meaning the services are designed to be easy deployable, fixed features, pricing and delivery process is standardized, clear end result for the client. A SaaS, a software as a service, obviously, is a cloud-based software that allows downloads. It's accessible through the internet. You can download it, and instead of installing and maintaining something on your computer or whatsoever in your service locally, you use it the IT cloud infrastructure. That's something like the end goal where you can be. But again, if you're a freelancer or in a business, the development or the process is pretty much the same. Most freelancers and businesses struggle here. And they don't have the basic business setup. But they want to break free from the time for money chain. They don't want to sell only by the hours and have something like a monthly recurring revenue. Because that's where we are going to head here. Monthly recurring revenue. Subscriptions and stuff like that. So that's where we really want to be. And there is no big magic. You just need to have, and we can draw it even in a new picture, if that's going to help illustrate it again. You are here. And you want to be here. Let's call it standardized service offering or managed service or even SaaS. Doesn't matter. And you're here. Everything is individual. How to get there? We just talked about it, right? There's a couple of milestones. Number one, I really like niche and positioning. Super important. Neglected. ICP. USP. Standardized service offering. Marketing. Sales. Small steps that enable you to be able to sell this down the road. Lead generation, yeah, comes here actually, in between. But you need to know where, in which niche you're actually positioned. Who is your target audience? Who is your ideal customer profile? What differentiates you on the market that will allow you to have such a standardized service? How can you market it? How can you sell it? How can you generate leads to get to this point? This is a basic structure on how to get there. And that's about it for this video. Obviously, we have so many more videos that elaborate on how to create a standardized service offering, or practical examples how to actually jump from a Time4Money offering to a standardized service offering. But more importantly, in this video, I really want to share the milestones, the steps that can help you get to this point. If you have any questions, below in the description, you will find all necessary links to contact me or my team. We're happy to help you. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video or the next videos. We have a lot more coming for you if you're a freelancer or an IT business.